to another video. So today I'll just be talking about some few things. Okay, the things I'll be talking about are just located here. Just click on select boards, just select anyone. Okay, I'll be talking about risk management. So in risk management, what we're trying to talk about is, okay, how do you continue trading when you lose like a trade? Okay, for example, your first trade loses, or the fifth trade, or any number of trade losses in the sequence. Okay, so we have a few strategies. Most of these strategies are used in casinos and blackjack mostly. Okay, so the most common one is the Martingale strategy. So the Martingale strategy is a way of recovering your money. So how does Martingale strategy works? Okay, for example, you are trading, maybe for example, let me just add here $1. You're trading with maybe $1. Okay, let me select another one so that the explanation can be better. Okay, not that one also. Try just another one. Okay, let me try this one. Okay, say we are trading with around $1. Okay, around $1. Okay, if you're trading with $1, so the Martingale system works this way. As you can see, we have a multiplier. So if you're trading with the $1 and then one of our trade loses, so the next stake of your trade, the next amount that will be traded will be your current stake multiplied by the multiplier. So in this case, the multiplier is 2.2. Now that's the Martingale number. So if you lose one trade or any number of trades, now the first loss, for example, you lose the first one, you just stake, the stake is 1 and you lose that trade. Then the next trade that will be entered, the stake will increase. So we'll just take the previous stake multiplied by that multiplier. So it will be 1 multiplied by 2.2. Now our next stake will be 2.2. So if we continue losing, our stake will be multiplied by 2.2 until we win. So for example, we lose again 2.2. Now we'll take 2.2 as the stake multiplied by 2.2. And okay, this will continue until you win. When you win, it will reset and goes back to the initial stake. And in this case, our initial stake is $1. So when it wins, then the time it wins, it will recover all the lost amount of money that you lost. Okay, now that's the Martingale. It increases your stake when you lose, and the stake remains constant when you win. So for example, I trade with $1 and I get a profit. Now the next trade will just be $1. It will not change. It will continue like that, just $1, $1, $1, $1 until I lose. When I lose, it multiplies by the multiplier, which in this case is 2.2. The multiplier can be any number. In this case is 2.2, but mostly the multiplier should be around 2. Okay, 2 or more. Okay, so it will trade with it will multiply by the multiplier of 2.2 until it wins. When it wins, it resets back to the original stake, which is 1. Now that's the Martingale. We have the Fibonacci. Now the Fibonacci follows a sequence of numbers. Okay, there is this thing called the Fibonacci series. Okay, so Fibonacci series works this way. Okay, the Fibonacci number starts from 0. So we have 0, we have 1, and then the next number in the Fibonacci series will be the sum of the previous two numbers. So if you have 0 and 1, the next number will be 0 plus 1, we'll have 1. And the next number from that point will be 1 plus 1, so will be 2. And the next number will be 2 plus 1 will be 3. And the next number will be 3 plus 2 will be 5. The next will be 5 plus that 3 will be 8. The next one will be 8 plus 5, that will be 13, and so forth. So using the Fibonacci series, we'll just start from 1. We'll not start from 0. So if you lose the first time, I'll just multiply by 1. If you lose the second time, I'll multiply by the second one. And if you lose the third time, I'll now multiply by 2. Okay, let me just open something so that I can show you. Okay, I'll just write down here the Fibonacci sequence. We have 1, we have 0, we have 1, we have another one, we have 2, we have 3, we have 5, we have 8, we have 13, we have 21, we have Is it 34? We have 34. We have 55. Okay, and the number continues. So that's the Fibonacci sequence. The next number now, for example, in this sequence will be 55 plus 34, and you'll get the next number. You just add the two numbers, previous numbers, and get the next number. So in trading, we'll just ignore the 0. So if you lose the first time, we'll multiply by 1. If you lose the second time, we'll multiply by 1. And if you lose the third time, we'll multiply by 2. If you lose the fourth time, we'll multiply by 3. So when you continue losing, we'll just following the sequence of this number. And if you win, we go back one number. For example, if you win at 0.13, the next stake will be your original stake multiplied by 8. Now your stake will reduce. For example, if you are trading with $1 and you start losing, the first stake will be $1, and if you lose, also $1. If you lose again, $1. If you lose again, it will go to $2. Now it will be $1 times 2. If you lose again, it will be $3. If you lose again, it will be $5. If you lose again, it will be $8. If you lose again, it will be $13. If you lose again, it will be $21. For example, your stake was $21 at this point, and you win. If you win, we'll not continue we'll just go back, reverse on the sequence. Now instead of going to 34, we'll just go back to 13. And if you continue winning, we'll go back up to 1 and remain on 1. Now that's how the Fibonacci strategy works. Okay, we have compounding. Compounding is just the easiest. It will just continue increasing your stake. No matter if it doesn't matter if you lose or if you win. So if you are compounding, let's choose compounding. You see the multiplier is 10. So if the multiplier is 10, that means it will be increasing your stake by 10%. Starting with $1, if you lose that $1, the next stake will be $1.1. It will add 10% to that stake. And the next one will be $1.21. It will just be compounding, taking your current stake 10%, adding 10% to your current stake. So if your stake is $1, it will add 10% in the next, and so forth and so forth, just like that. That's compounding. We have fixed proportion. Okay, fixed proportion is the easiest. If you just put a stake of 1, it will just trade with the stake of 1. It will not change it. It just trade with 1, 1, 1, 1 until the end. It doesn't matter if you lose or win. Okay, we have trailing. Trailing stops that uses Fibonacci. But okay, it changes your what is it called? It changes your stop loss. As for example, here we have a stop loss of 30. Now if you continue winning, your stop loss will be coming up, will be lessening. So for example, it starts at 30, comes to 20, comes to 10. This strategy is used to cut losses. So if you continue winning, it just reduces your stop loss, so that if you start with a winning streak and then the losing comes, you will not lose much. Okay, that's trailing stops. Okay, we also have this one called Dalembert. Okay, so with Dalembert, if you win, so for example, let's use this as our example. Okay, we have a stake of 1. Every time we win, we maintain. Okay, let's start with the losing. Okay, if you lose, we increase the stake by the initial stake. So for example, in this case, our initial stake is 1. So I'll just open the notes and use it. Okay, I'm here. Okay, for example, you have 1. That's our initial stake. If we lose, we add 1 to this one. So our next stake will be 2. If you lose again, you add 1. You just add the initial stake to the current stake. If you lose again, we'll be on 3. Okay. If you lose again, we'll be on 4. If you lose again, we'll just adding the initial stake will be at 5. If you lose again, the next stake will be 6, 7, 8. That's the case with 1. Okay. For example, your initial stake was 5. If your initial stake was 5, now you'll just be increasing your stake by 5 every time you lose. So the next will be 10, the next 15, the other one 20, 25, 30. You'll just be increasing your stake with that initial stake. Okay, if you started with maybe 3, the next stake will be 6, the next one 9, the next one 12, the other one 15, you have 18, we have 21, and so forth. Okay, that's about the Lambert. Okay, what happens if you win in the process? Okay, for example, maybe you're using 5. We'll be having 10, 15, 20, maybe 25. Here 25. Okay, so if you win at this point, you'll start reducing your stake. For example, you start winning at this point, so you start winning at the point of 25, so your next stake will be 20. You just start reducing. If you win again, 15. If you win again, will be 10. If you win again, 5. And if you win again, you just maintain it as 5. So let me just take this to the next line. If you lose, you increase. If you win, you reduce. You reduce that just by that value. Okay, that's about the Lambert. Now let's talk about OscarGrid. Okay, about OscarGrid now. The OscarGrid is just like, it's the reverse of the Lambert. So in OscarGrid, we start just by a unit stake. So if you win, you increase your stake, and if you lose, you reduce your stake. Okay, I'll just give you an example. So let me just delete this one. Okay, for example, you are trading with $5. If you win, you increase your stake by the initial amount. So if I win, the next one will be 10. If I win again, the next one will be 15. If I win again, 20. If I win, 25, and so forth. And if I lose, I start reducing it. So for example, I'm in 25 and I lose, so the next one will be 20. If I lose again, the next one will be 15. If I lose again, 10. If I lose again, 5. And if I lose again, 5. I cannot go to 0. If I lose until I'm on the initial stake, I'll just maintain that stake if I continue losing. But if I start winning again, I start increasing the stake. That's all about the OscarGrid. As you can see, it's just the opposite of the Dalembert strategy. Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay, I think we have talked about all of them. Okay, when you select any of these, now the bot will just use that strategy. If you use Martingale, the bot will use Martingale. If you select another one, the bot will use the other one. Okay, and if you just want to maintain the stake, you can just go to Martingale and put 1. Okay, so I have trade to start risk manager. Okay, the trade to start risk manager is currently not active here, but it works this way. So when do you want the risk manager to start? After how many losses do you want the risk manager to start? So for example, if you are right here 5, okay, 5, and I'm using Martingale. So if I lose the first trade, Martingale will not work. If I lose the second one, it will still not work until I lose the 5th trade. That's when Martingale will start working. If I lose 5 trades in a row, that's when Martingale will start working. Okay, there is another strategy for trading. We're just trying to perfect it. It's right here. It's called hedging. So I have here the bot is called hedge market. So in hedging, you place trade in both directions, either up or low, and then there is a small margin for profits. Okay, in that case, we are mostly using the barriers in Deriv. You can, if you buy, you put a barrier on top. Now we are expecting our price to close above that barrier. So okay, the payout is around, if you're trading with $1, the payout is about $2.5, around $2.5. So if you place both trades, both up and down, so if you win that payout, if you win that one, so the bot will cover the losses of the other one. So you'll just be in profit, whatever the case. We're just trying to perfect it, because sometimes the price ends in the middle, and if it ends in the middle, you lose both trades. We just want it to at least end on one side, not end in the middle, so that you can have a 100% win rate. but you'll be losing one trade and winning one trade. But when you win that one trade, it will cover the losses of the lost trade. Now, and you'll just be in profit, because you'll win around $2.5 in one trade and lose $1 in another trade. Now you can see, as you can see, the $1 in one trade will cover the losses of the other trade, and will still be in profit of around $1.5. Now that's all about hedging. Okay, you can just use these bots for free here. They work on Deriv. You can just link your account. If you want to know how to link your account, you can just check the video in our channel. Okay, that's all for today. See you in our next video.